This might be the continuous or similar session from the past 2 days. Like once we confirm, like we can continue with the course content. But let me recap all that we have discussed in last few sessions. Let me share my screen. If anyone newly joined today's session or have attended previous sessions also. Can someone tell me? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. I'm attending from 2 sessions onwards, starting now.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for confirming. Okay. I'm sharing my screen. In last 2 sessions, we have discussed about RPA and what is RPA and what types of automations that we have, marketplace of RPA, and different types of tools available in the market, and also the course content we have discussed, software related. Now, if you have any questions, we will see at the end on top of those. Like we will continue with the course content, like what are all we are going to cover in coming sessions and how many days it will take. First one, we'll see installation of the studio. Like I'll provide you the screenshots and I'll help you on how to install the studio environment. If you having Visual Studio plugin, or if you have directly Pega Robotics Studio, so that I'll provide the screenshot so you can easily, I mean, install on your machines on your own, the software in your machines, and like a project structure, how the solution is building, solution development.
Where do we get? Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
How can we get the Pega Robotics Studio?
From the community, we can get the latest version, which is 22.1, whereas in most of the organizations still using the older versions like 19.1. So we are continuing with the 19.1, and you can get the software from the training institute itself. I'll provide the software and installation steps with the screenshots so that you can get from them. Okay. Yeah. And solution development, solution contains multiple projects and single project kind of thing. We will see how the solution is building using IDE, which is Pega Robotics Studio. From there we can come to know like single project solution and multiple project solutions, how we build, how we develop the automations. We can see all the folder structure, uh, how we'll take the simple project and we will continue the defining complex bots as well. So we'll see few of those, and the project structure will be, while developing solution, the project structure. what are all those covered while developing solutions? Like we'll be having multiple adapters. If we are having multiple application involved in the project, we'll be having multiple adapters. So each adapter we will build as a one project, so that it can be reused in other automations in order to rebuild one more time. So we'll use those adapter in a separate folder as a separate project, so we can use it as a plug and play. So it will reduces a lot of efforts while developing. Okay. And we'll separate mail activities or excel activities, all these things in a separate folder structure. One second. Adapter level folder structure, adapter level folders, and activities and mail related, outlook related, and configuration related, excel related, and input output, general automations, all these things we will create a folder structures. So in in the main folders, if we have any activities like events, events are mainly used to trigger the flow wherever the automation we are using the events in the sense, if some button has performed the click operations, so automatically the process flow has to start. In that scenario we will use the events whenever the project is getting loaded in the runtime application, so the project has to start. So we have all project started event from the toolbox, so that we can get it from there, and we will start the solution execution. So those events as a
I have a question.
subfolders.
I have a
Yeah,
question
please.
here. So that it's
Sorry, you're echoing. Can you please mute and other one and post your query? No issues. Like we will see at the end of the session on the questioning. Okay, events and procedures. So all these folder structures we used to maintain while developing the solutions inside the project. So each project having the similar kind of folder structure. So if we develop in such a way, like it will be more useful, and we can integrate one project on another project, and also we can inherit the properties of one project to other project. So all these things we can do. And as part of coding standards, also how we are developing, like everything is a yeah, as per guidelines of the organization, we have to follow those guidelines while developing the project, because organization to organization this folder structure may differ, and also the standards that they are following is might be different. Some automations naming conventions is different, and custom logging implementation, and the server logging implementation, and all these things that differs from one organization to other organization. So once we have joined in any organization, we will get the guidelines of how to build the project. So based on our experience, we will deliver the boards as per the coding standards organization defined. Okay. uh, so that not only simply following the guidelines, if you follow the coding standards, we can easily identify what actually it meant for, and it is easily to identify for the supporting bots, and also we can use it for uh, like uh, uh, following standards in the organizations. Okay, most of the organizations follow similar one, but there is a slight difference in the structure they are following it. Okay, and we can we can use terminologies like basic interrogation. These are the terminologies we are continuously hearing while developing any solution, or while learning these concepts, right? So interrogation and match rules, and in any in any programming languages or building tools, you might be hearing this debugging concepts. This is debugging is not only while developing the solution, uh, it's easy to identify the root cause of the issues. Whenever we are developing, we might do any syntactical mistakes as per tough guidelines we have to follow while developing the automation. So if we do any those kinds of mistakes while debugging, we come to know. And also, the what are the values that we are passing from one flow to other flow. We can see the values at the studio level only, or in terms of runtime logs. Also, we can find those values. So all these things we can find it. And we have some diagnostic tools we have in Pega Robotics Studio providing. We can see those information also. And we have some windows that we are using it in a studio level. Those are like toolbox, which is containing .NET components, and Pega Robotic Pega components, and Solution Explorer, and Object Explorer. The toolbox will be having a property window. These are the basic tools we'll be coming across while developing the solution, and each one having a specific role in that studio environment. This one is having all the components extracted from all the DLLs while we are using for application development. This toolbox is containing all these .NET components and Pega components, whereas Solution Explorer is a container which is having information about solution and its projects, and what reference information, whatever we are adding the external references, and also the adapter information, and the for miscellaneous files, whatever we are creating. All this it is holding in the Solution Explorer. And whereas Object Explorer, it is another window in the studio. Like, it is having hierarchy level of control information. Whatever the application controls, like Windows applications and web applications, we are identifying by using the interrogation methods. We are identifying those application controls, and we are representing here as a controls in Object Explorer. So in Object Explorer, we can see all the controls in a hierarchical way. What is the child control, what is the parent control, and what browser level controls, and the automation level controls, whatever we are defining. All those information we are getting here in Object Explorer. So in Object Explorer, we might be having as two sessions, and one is Object Inspector, and another one is Object Hierarchy. Okay, Here, the object hierarchy containing controls information, and object inspector containing PMEs. We call it as PMEs, properties, methods, and events. So whatever the control we have highlighted in object hierarchy, like we can see the relevant properties, methods, and events. By using those properties, events, methods, we are building the automations flow. Okay, like automation is file.os file we are having, and we are using it in automation flow development. From once we have defined the solution and project, we can see the project items as a automation is one in it, like adapters, what are the adapters, and what are the like automations that we want to define. We can get it from this project items list. Okay, and the property window, it is one of the window in the studio provided, like whatever the control we have selected or object we have selected, like we can see relevant properties for that particular control. So like properties in the sense, like in if we take one example, if we consider a product item called pen, the manufacturer is someone, and its color is something, and it is having some features like a height, width, kind of thing, like it's having any label information, all these properties. And if we say color is one of the property, and its value is red or blue or green, something like that. So it's a manufacturer, something like Natras or some Reynolds, something like. If we can see whatever the object we have selected, we'll be seeing it properties and its values in the property window. So mainly these four windows we are using, interacting in the studio while developing the automation flows. Okay, and as I said in previous sessions, like we can write our own scripts. We have a component called script. So every predefined functionality, it can't fix our solution, developing requirement. Like in those scenarios, if we don't have already previous build functionality available, we can define our own DLL or custom components, and we can utilize those. Or if it is a simple one, we can write like in the script component, we can define our own line, programming coding part, so that we can call those functionalities in the automation flow. It will come as a design block, it will not come as a lines of code itself, because you are developing the lines of codes here using the script component, and you are doing the debugging also here and the script component. So once you develop the functionality, it facilitates, if facilitates, it shows as a method in the object inspector when you selected that script component. So this one. And not only this, developing C# script, you might be having a option to use the JavaScript as well. JavaScript, once you have defined any objects in the browser level, like pages you have created in the object hierarchy, like for those page controls, you might be parent level controls, you might be seeing this some methods called invoke script and execute scripts. So by using those scripts, like you can call, activate the functionalities, or you can perform some actions on the application controls. So we can be using these JavaScript methods, invoke and execute, while performing those activities. And also one more scripting language we might be come across while using this automation building, that is macros. So we can't develop any code here in the studio, that we be code here, like whereas if we have any Excel activities performing such Excel operations, so we might be using that macros defined in Excel. we can call those macros, or we can define our own macros in the Excel itself. We call those macros here by configuring those Excels. So once we have defined, we can see the macro names. Okay, so you can call that macro by using the run macro method. You can have that execution of macro in the studio itself. And as we come across, right, like we can use the Microsoft products like Outlook, Excel, and Word. uh, all these things we can have connectors in the studio that is provided, so we can call one by one in this automation flow whenever there is a need of reading mails and sending mails. If we have any requirement only from particular sender, we have to read the mail body. We have to um, perform some action in the process, and we have to send the output report to them. So while attaching any files or downloading any files from the mail content, so we can do all these activities, Outlook related activities, by using this Outlook connector. And for Excel related, we can use we have two connectors here. One is Excel connector and another one is Microsoft Excel. So by using these two connectors, we can perform all Excel related operations. Excel related operations in the sense like we can read row by row data from the Excel, or a table. It's a range of data from the Excel sheets. If it is Excel is having multiple sheets, we can switch to one sheet to other sheet, and we can extract the information from Excel, and we can perform some activity, and we can update the Excel. We have those methods also, by using these connectors. And we have Word also. We can perform some operations like similarly extracting and inserting data into the Word. So we can do all these activities by using these connectors. Not only this, some other connectors like to work with any PDF, we can have a PDF connector. We can have PDF connector, and to view any PDF, we have PDF viewer. And we if you want to connect with any database and you want to write any queries and perform some actions on it, so we will be using a SQL query. We have connectors. So once we have configured and connection established with the databases, we can write our own queries. SQL query, Oracle query, and OLEDB. We I mean we can use these connectors to connect with the database and performing actions. We can directly do all these things by using predefined components, or we have script component. By using the script component, if you are familiar with C sharp .NET coding part, you can have the C sharp .NET coding as well. We can utilize those functionalities also. Instead of already we are having it, so we will be using this because it is very easy. We don't need to write any lines of code in the script part. So without writing, we can use direct available components, predefined one. So we can use all these things, right? And as we discussed already yesterday, what is RPA and what is RDA, right? Difference between RPA and RDA. All these things we have discussed in previous session. If you still having any doubt, at the end we'll be having uh, I mean s- sessions, right? You can ask me queries at the end of the session. I'll answer those. And once you have developed the solutions, right, you'll be hearing the some terminologies like deployment, You might be new, or if you are any working professional, like you might be hearing these things. For any project development, like we use the terminology for deployment, all these things, debugging, deployment, all these things. So I will explain how to deploy from the studio, and different ways from where all we can get these options of deployment while building the project, and what is the outcome if we do the deployment. There is a, if we develop any automations like solution or project, like if we do deployment, it will create .os file and .manifest file, where .manifest file is having version information and all other references information, whereas .os file, it will give whatever the solution you have built. It's coming as a single file with a I mean executable format. By using that .os file, you are providing this file to the runtime environment, so where we can use that runtime application to load the solution and to run this executable solution, executable format file, so that they'll see only uh, any interfaces we have built for the user interaction, those and the execution of that flow, they can see it. Okay. And all these things we'll see. How to scheduling also we will see. We might be having different kinds of scheduling here. Organization follows either local scheduling or a server, if they are maintaining all these things in a centralized location called robo manager application in the Pega platform, like they can schedule it from there. Once deploying the project and integrating all the integrating the solution into any VM, virtual machines or VDAs, they have established the connections, right? So from there they can assign, and they can and schedule accordingly. Schedule in the sense, if the organization as per the requirement, like if the solution has to run on daily basis, or daily once, or couple of times, or 24 by 7, or only particular days in a month it has to run, or except a weekends, only weekdays it has to run. Like all these things we can schedule it, like as per the requirement. We will schedule all these things. Okay. So these the terminologies we are using. And as I said, interrogation, right? Interrogation, it is different, having different interrogation methods. While coming to web and windows, we have different kinds of applications, right? Web applications and windows applications, mainframe, citrix environment, and SAP applications, right? So it differs to one application to other application. Identifying the controls also is different. It is having certain rules to identify application controls. If it is a Windows application means like whatever the application we have installed in our machine, or in our working machine. So it is having a standalone application which is having a file, executable file in our local. So we'll give it as a reference for that Windows application adapter, so that we can launch the application, we can perform some actions on it, and we can close applications, like that is Windows. And whereas web applications, we have to use any one of the browser to interact with that interface, right? So browser means Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Chrome, Edge, all these things. So we have different types of adapters, like one, those two different types of adapters, like web application adapter and universal web application adapter. All these things, like nowadays, Microsoft has stopped giving any patches or updates for Internet Explorer. So they are, every organization now migrating to using universal web application adapter to interact with these Chromium browsers, which is Chrome, Google Chrome, and Edge, and Mozilla Firefox, all these things. So we have different interrogation methods for different things. Like here, like one is select element, we have one interrogation method, and default we have in some interrogation method. So HTML web the HTML designer, table designer. We have like these kind of different interrogation methods. So you will come across once you are started using the studio environment for interrogating those controls. Interrogation term itself, it is like you have to integrate that application first using adapter in your studio. Then by using the interrogation methods, there is a window it will open, and using that window you will see like whatever controls in the application. You can drag and drop that bull icon over the application control. It will create a controls in the object hierarchy, so that you can change the match rules to identify uniquely. Match rules in the sense like here, like if you have multiple targets, if like suppose if you are having multiple text boxes, multiple labels in one application, so if you want to identify uniquely, you can see and tell based on the position or label of that control. In the same way, if bot has to identify such controls, you have to set some rules so that bot easily identify using those rules what is the exact control, and whatever the action you have asked to perform by the bot, it will do. If we have all these match rules correctly set, it will work as expected. If it is a change in the application regarding that information, bot will fail to identify those controls. So while defining match rules, you have to set only static values, not to use any dynamic values such as numbers, or having any text including numbers. You have to eliminate those, and you have to set only the dynamic, static values while applying match rules for those controls. Okay, this might be in theoretical way for now, but when you are coming to application development, you might be seeing everything in a regular basis. For all scenarios, we might be using these terminologies and these uh, components. Whatever we are discussing now, you'll be seeing it. It's a simply visually also, it's not like coding wise, it's just a drag and drop all these design blocks, right? It's just drag and drop, so you'll feel comfortable while developing the solution. So once you guys install the application in your software, so I'll explain, you can practice on its own. It will be very easy to learn this tool. Okay. Okay, and we'll see. We'll open for the questionnaires. Like if you have any questions on the discussed one, you just unmute yourself and let me know, please. uh, I have a question here in the chat, like if you have a Pega related event in PRPC, can you integrate this RPI with Pega events? Like once you have established the connection with the Pega platform, and here Pega Robotics Studio, by using the activities, robo activities, we can define whatever the class information we have provided there. We have to define the same here, and we have to establish the connection so that whatever the events we are using there, we can see those properties here, so that we can use those events also. Once it is any trigger happened there, it will automatically execute the flow here, so we can do that actions as well.
Will you be able to demonstrate this?
Sorry, your voice is echoing. Can you please come again? I didn't get you. Can you please come again? uh, we are not having that environment. If I want to say, we can automate the Citrix and we can do the mainframe, and we can do this Pega integration. If we have that environment, we can show the demonstration. But unfortunately, we don't have that environment. So, I mean, I'll explain how to do and what are the activities we are using in the Pega Robotics Studio from the toolbox components. I'll show you. But unless until if I have that environment, I can't demonstrate. So the interrogation, both environments in the sense like uh, Citrix and mainframe. You mean to say something like that? No, we don't have Pega I mean Pega here platform related, so we can't show that. If we have that environment, we can show, but we're not having that. We have anyway. I have Pega on my laptop, and after I install RPA, could I try? Yes, you can try. If you have that environment, we can integrate and we can do that activities. And we have some applications. Pega has provided Pega Robotics, this Pega platform, right? It has provided one training site for I mean open source to use it, so we can use those applications. Okay, you're welcome. Any other having any queries? If no means we can wind up the session.